Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Bus. On this one, we're doing something a bit different. We've got my old man's GL here. It's a V8 twin turbo diesel, 4 litre diesel. It is having an issue with an oil leak, so it looks like I don't know how, we've got to investigate it, but it looks like there's oil pressure coming out the rear main seal or somewhere in the bell housing area.
Well, here we are, Lasties Automotive, Saturday morning, working on my own car. Things are pretty shit when you got to do that. Anyway, that said, poor old GL 450 has developed a huge oil leak from the back of the engine, which I'm hoping is a rear main seal. It was actually hosing out. In fact, I've never seen one leaking quite that bad. So I hope it's not an oil gallery plug or something like that. But
in how many of your years have been Mercedes mechanic? Have you not seen that?
40.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen oil leaks, plenty of oil leaks, but that's the actual seal there.
Yep.
That's genuine, $115 worth. It's a 2-lip seal, well, actually it's a 3-lip seal, so it actually seals on 2 steps. But anyway, so maybe that's why when it's leaking, it's really fucking leaking. But anyway, there you go. That's what's happening today. Gussie's going to give me a hand to pull the gearbox out. So transmission and transfer case comes out as a unit, and then we'll be able to pull the flywheel off and get to this.
First things first, we've got to put the car up on the hoist. So let's get to it. Holy balls with that oil leak. That's bad as, man. That was from one night under here of just parking it, nothing else, no working, no driving it or anything. And then up there we've got a bit of oil up there, a bit of rear main action going on. So I'm going to be pulling out the DPFs so that way we can get the gearbox out. And what will you be doing?
Well, I'll be taking the torque converter off for a start, or undoing the torque converter bolts, so we can separate the transmission from the flex plate. Drive shaft still has to come out, front and rear.
I'll be doing that.
All the electrical side, the oil cooler lines for the transmission, and then we'll finally get to the actual bell housing bolts to hold the transmission to the engine, and then we should be able to get it out.
So we've got this drive shaft coming out just here, and the old fella's working on the other one at the back.
Okay, so next trick.
Yep.
This bracket's got to come off, so up against the gearbox and also on the engine pipe there.
Yep.
And then the same over here, you've got another bracket against the gearbox that goes back onto that the other side of the exhaust.
So just smack them off. Yep.
Then we've got all the wiring under here that's going to come off.
Oh, gross.
The wiring at the back, which that'll be fairly easy.
Wiring on the Continental.
Yeah.
Continental.
And then we'll start doing the bell housing bolts.
Alright, cool. Almost time for the gearbox to come out. We've got DPFs, drive shafts, pretty much everything, all wires and everything are disconnected. It's really just the bell housing bolts now. And then we'll drop it out and do the rear main seal. Nice. That's all of them, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Flywheel time. How heavy is this one, do you reckon?
Not heavy.
Not like Luxy heavy? Oh, not like Luxy heavy in the fucking slightest.
Right. Now let's have a look up at that rear main.
Rear mainy. rear main.
Rear main for sure. That's the balance shaft cover at the top.
Okay.
They run these are a 60-degree V8 diesel. Most V8s are 90 degrees, so I run a balance shaft to keep the thing in sync. Oh, look at that.
There we go, rear main is out now. We're just putting in the fresh one. Me bloody mic died. But anyways, as you can see, the rear main seal is all in. Then we got to put the flex plate / flywheel on, and then we can start thinking about putting the gearbox back in. We've just got the flex plate in. We've got new bolts because these are like head bolts. They're stretchy, so once they're torqued up to spec, they'll actually have a bit of stretch, so they'll stretch out. So got to chuck these in and then do them up to spec. Did you ever read Specky McGee? Was that not around for you?
No.
So here we go. Gearbox is going back in. I'd like to say that this was a quick job and this didn't take us long. Unfortunately, it took us quite a while. So for reference, I put all the clips into the video editing software and it came up to 1 hour and 15 before I'd cut anything. And this was about 50 minutes of that hour and 15, just us trying to get the gearbox in. So probably don't need to watch the whole thing. Just putting in some bell housing bolts here. Currently complaining about how much Disney has ruined Star Wars to my dad. So, not that he cares, but yeah. Disney's fucked it though. So the gearbox is now in. Still got to torque the bell housings up to spec. Bell housing bolts. I think we're done for today though. And we'll finish the rest off tomorrow.
The next morning.
Here we are, day 2 on the big GL. We've got the DPFs here that we still need to install. We've also got the Subi in for a bit of a service today, but we'll just have a quick peek under the car and see everything else that's going to go in. But these are pretty much like the only 2 parts that actually have to go back in the car. So gearbox, everything else is already in. Oh, and we needed front drive shaft. So we also need to put that in, and then it'll be back together. So just quickly before we move on, I just wanted to show you the DPF pressure sensors. So there's one up here and there's another one straight up there. So they run, the sensors actually run, the pipes run to the DPFs down there. Obviously not while they're down there. And they're pretty painful spot. Wouldn't it? It'd be hard to like route away from these, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, the thing is with the pressure sensors, they're a fairly, I've replaced lots of them on the 4-cylinder cars and the V6s and so on, and they're pretty easy to get to. But because you've got 2 on those V8 diesels and where they put them above the tail shaft, I hope I don't have to replace any. That would make me a bit angry. Anyway, there you go. That's where they are. They're a pretty integral part of the operation of DPFs. Even though everyone hates DPFs, they're there to do a function, and the pressure sensors play a big part in that.
What do you got next to do?
Next, finish the wiring up there, lift the transmission up, get the rear tail shaft in, then start thinking about the cross member. The front shaft.
Yep.
Then the cross member can go in, finish the wiring off, then finally the exhaust will go on. So
yeah, nice.
That's the order process today.
Rear main seal on a GL 450. This is all the tools we've had to use to, and more. Yeah. There's still a few more tools over on that bench as well, and we finally got it all back in. Under there, all in, all happy, and that's not even holding in it anymore, but. Happy with it?
Yep.
So there we go. I wouldn't attempt this yourself at home. That would be a bit of a challenge, I think, without a hoist and stuff. Yeah, I think you've got to pay for a Merc mechanic if you want to buy a Merc. I think that's the way it works. Too many electronics. If you sneeze the wrong way, then the check engine light comes on. So, but there we go. Thanks for watching another episode of The Bus. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.